everybody, and welcome back to another episode of M.O.T.R Vapes. And today we are going to be doing the Versus Challenge. This is going to be the regular Tsunami right here, Hoo-cha! Towards the Tsunami 24, Hoo-cha! Because this is a sumo wrestler, and this is like, we'll call him Jackie Chan. I'm not going to say it's Bruce Lee. We're going to call it Jackie Chan, which is still good. Still good. Hoo-cha! Hoo-cha! So this is going to be the exact same build going inside both of these units. I am going to be doing two 26 gauge cores fused with a 36 wrap. So it's going to be the same one. Oh, it's also going to be 6 wraps around a 3mm drill bit. Or not drill bit, my tool that I have. So the same thing is going to go in each of them. We're going to find out if we get different flavors, different densities, just from the changing of the inside diameter of it. The actual outside and the drip tip stays exactly the same size. There is no change in that. So we're going to see what it's all about. First, I'm going to unbox them. Then I'm going to build the coils. Then I'm going to put the coils into the unit. And then we're going to be doing this. So hopefully I have enough sense when I edit this video. I'll be shoving up some actual time codes over here because this is going to be a long old video. I'm going to show you which is which, and you can just skip ahead if you want to skip ahead, or just watch on through if you're comfortable with it. Now, instead of saving this right till the end of it, I'm going to put it up to you guys right up front. Like my stuff, subscribe to my stuff. It's really going to help me move forward doing this. I need this in order to actually keep going. YouTube's like, yeah, someone liked it, hells yeah, someone subscribed to it, that's even better. So guys, help me out, and I'm going to try and do better for you guys in the future. But let's start with today, right here, right now. Let's check out what's inside the box. Alright, so now it is time for the unveiling of the Tsunami RDA and the Tsunami 24. Now this one's already been opened and used. This is a Tsunami I've had for some time, so I'm quite familiar with it. Just for the luxury of showing it, I'm going to have this up here. Ooh, here's the Tsunami. And it comes with your drip tip. And it comes with another drip tip. Well, basically it's a chuff cap more than it is a drip tip. Both of them are. And you have your tools down here. I've never actually taken these tools out. So there's the tools for it. You'll see this drip tip is a, it's not so much cylindrical as it is a little bit, got a concave shape to it, or convex shape to it. Fits into the end. Right here comes off. Push in and turn. It's actually remarkably easy. It's got the ribs along the inside, or the ridges along the inside of it there, so you can just take your finger and give it a nice little twist off. Remarkably easy to come out. It's just the plastic threads on there. Then I'll shove this onto my unit. So you see it fits absolutely perfect on the Vapor Shark DNA 200. There still is a little bit of room to get a larger bit on there. So we'll see how the other one goes. And if you haven't seen the Tsunami, there is the Tsunami inside that deck. Here's the inside of the cap. Like I said, this one has been used quite frequently. I love my Tsunami, and that's why I wanted to do the back and forth between the Tsunami and the Tsunami 24. So your air holes. Now, one thing I have noticed about the Tsunami when using it, the gaps between the airflow and the posts themselves aren't really cut out a bit to allow your wick to kind of get down into the center. The post flows solid straight down through, so you see where the edge of the post is, that is straight down. There's no notching or anything in there. And the airflow is fairly close. You put your cotton of your wick down into the bottom of these posts. So it doesn't allow for maximum capability for just going straight through the chuff cap and blobbing it down. But what I have done is I'll do 5 to 8 drops. That's what I'll do. I'll do 5 to 8 drops or drips going down. I'll wait a second. That's if it's significantly used up, and I'll wait a second, and then I'll do another 5 to 8 drops, and it fills just up to the top of the airflow just up to the ridge of it, where it will then soak up through the cotton. So it's not as quick, it's not as convenient as, let's say, the troll is when you're dripping onto the troll, where it's just blob it right on and go. But it is still doable. It is something you can do. The 510 on this is not as protruding as someone would like to see it for coming down to hybrid use. It is fairly close. It is protruding, but it isn't like extremely good. You'll be able to get away with it, but you know what? You're trying to scraping that by the edge of your seat there. And down below you have, this kit contains all of these lovely stuff, brought to you by Geekvape Tsunami. Oh, look, the card just came right on out. Geekvape Tsunami. All that lovely good stuff. So that was the Tsunami 24, and I'm just gonna and now, oh, that was a regular Tsunami. Now this is the Tsunami 24. We have a straight up different packaging than we have for the other one. This one is a lot more like what the Avocado comes in, the Avocado 24. So here you take off your case. Let's open up the side. You get your upgraded tool. I love these little tools, these larger ones. Absolutely die for them. And there is the rest of your good stuff. Now this one has not been used. It has not been touched. I haven't done anything with it. I haven't even looked inside this RDA to see how it really differs from the regular Tsunami. So there's the spare parts, your tool, and again you have your cap right there, or your chuff cap, which is a larger diameter. Here is your drip tip, which is also great. And I believe that is everything that's inside this box. So there's no real reason to go snooping any further, but again, that's everything inside that box. No reason, but I like to check anyways. You never know with some of this stuff. And there's the back of it. Tsunami 24. Now again, you'll see this, the drip tip that it comes with has that shape, that inward shape going up there. And this is removed by twisting, not pulling. It is twisting. So, and the two drip tips are exactly the same size. This is one from one, this is one from the other, this is the one from the 24, this is the one from the regular Tsunami. So it's exactly the same. There has been no change in that actual diameter. The only thing they changed is the outside diameter. So now, let's take this, shove it onto the Vapor Shark, and give her a little twist off. Alright, so it's the same on the inside as it is on the out. Single airflow option or dual airflow option right there onto the sides. The pin on this one is exactly the same as the regular Tsunami. It is just barely coming out of there. I'd like to see that just a touch larger on it to feel super comfortable, but it's still going to work. It's just not where my comfortability, but everybody's comfortability is different. So got the tool. Let's take out these screws. Not take them out, but let's just adjust them. Screws are excellent coming out. It's nice. There's a little bit of play with the tool itself, but that's not the screw that's moving. That's just the tool. So that's good. I'm liking this so far. Excellent, excellent. So immediately I can see that the You get a lot more juice wall diameter. I still would have liked to have seen the bottom of this notched out. I would like to have seen some actual notching. There's notching. I got the words quite right. You come down here a bit and notch it out as it comes down. And you could have afforded to do a bit of notching when it comes to both sides of them. You have room to actually get through, in and out. They did not appear to change the actual diameter of the airflow, which I would have liked to seen that altered a little bit there. You have the ability to close off your airflow if you want it closed off, so why not open up the airflow and allow for more of it? They have more room. They could have done a little bit different with it, maybe brought the airflow back here a little bit instead of staying right in the center of it, and that would have allowed it to get a little bit more in there. Might have also been nice to see this as one uniform shape coming up the center, opened up there and there and along the sides of it to create a little bit more airflow. Wouldn't have got much, but you know what, it would have altered this. So that is the overall differences between these two decks. Again, used, brand new. So we are going to now build on them. So let's build these away. Huzzah! So, now that I have got those 4 magical coils there together, it is time to actually put them on in. Now, I have actually disinfected and cleaned out these units, that way to keep them nice and uniform in flavor. Like I said earlier, this one is actually a used unit. It is not directly out of a package. So, let's take this, pop them in, and see what type of differences that we're going to be achieving from the diameters of these actual RDAs. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. I keep forgetting I have a camera in front of me and I need to actually use the camera. I'm not using any particularly special techniques. I'm just taking this and putting it in as it comes. Clip off one side. And I'm going to clip off my other side. Make sure she's nice and she's flush. She's even as much as it can be. Now these are the Coil Master clips I'm using right now, the snips. And I've been using them for quite some time. I work in a shop and they get well used. So they're starting to wear out on that ability to clips, quite sadly. But that's alright. Pop in that side. I'll just push down. Pop in this side. Now, however you want to put your coils in is going to be up to you, and however you want to gauge it. Some people get very finicky. They'll never really touch their coil at all. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to be touching both coils, so it's going to get the same flavor out of it. And I'm off camera. Yet again, off the camera. Can't keep it steady. So that's one set. That's just in there real quick. I'll pop in the other set. I do apologize for leaving the camera so much. I'm looking down. The camera's in an awkward way. In. Locking and popping. So let's start off with the 24. Let's see how she's going to burn. I got 0.18 at 93 watts. Pulse it up. And now I gotta run away and grab my tool, which I left at my building table. All right. So one side is heating up a fair bit quicker than the other. Let's do some minor adjustments here to the pins. So one side is heating up too quick. So those are the two options I can have right now. I can either extend the side that's heating up too quick out, or I take this side and push it in a little bit, and it doesn't take a whole lot of in to actually make a significant difference. So perfectly glowing red right off the bat. Well, one side is actually heating up a little quicker than the other now. Yes, it is. And that was the side I just adjusted. See what I mean? It does not take much to change either side of this coil once it gets started. So one side is heating up a little too quick now, so I will just take that out and readjust yet again. Now, some people don't get as finicky as I do when it comes to this, but it means a lot to me when I go down or when I use my vape and I can't get that uniform draw on it. That to me is alright. I am feeling comfortable to be able to use this and go forward from here. So, let's finish this actually, the last tightening. Perfect. Now all that's left is wait for that to cool down just a little bit. And take a nice fresh strip of this El Bacano, which is just the cotton bacon. If you haven't used it before, it's not bad. You can use the shishito from Shoppers or Walmart or whatever drugstore you're around. But this stuff is meant for vaping. It's not meant for cleaning off your face. So I quite thoroughly enjoy that fact myself. But to each their own. I didn't use it for a long time. I used the shishito. So everybody's got their own way of doing it. My cotton right there, nice thick and lush cotton. So I fold up my ends. Always twist in the same direction. It's just snug enough in there that it's going to do something. I don't like mine overly snug. Again, that comes down to a personal preference, and that's all it is. Same thing on the other side. Snip. Snip both of them exactly the same length. I got a nice fair bit of cotton coming down through there. Nice and large amounts, so I will just take my tool. I'll take my cotton. What I like to do is push up on my thumb a little bit, fold it up, and then take her down. That leaves a nice uniform shape in the cotton. It's not distorted too much. So again, take the same thing from this side. I'll push up in a little bit and just put her down. You want to leave it as uniform as possible and don't have too many ridges and bumps and grooves into it, because it's not the cotton itself that really juices up and holds the juice. It's the spaces in between the cotton. It's those flow channels. It's like a river, and if you put a log right in the center of your river, you're going to distort your flow pattern. So it's exactly the same thing when you're doing this. Try and keep it as straight and as good as possible. Excellent. So that is the Tsunami 24, wicked and good to go. Right there, you're going to see that the juice, or the cotton is not hanging out much over the sides, and even if it is, once you get your juice put onto it, you just give it a little dab, push it in just a touch so that it's not catching the lip of your cap. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to build on the regular Tsunami. I'm going to put that into place. I'll show you the builds once they're actually done. We'll wick them up and juice them. Perfect. So now that we have everything built and everything is put together and everything is on an RDA and on a device, we are going to be actually vaping this stuff. And what I'm using for this is Jammin' Jams. This is Jammin' Jams E-Juice. This is a strawberry peach jam. This stuff is fresh out in the country. I don't know how I keep getting the newer stuff, which is excellent for me, but this stuff is fresh out. You gotta check out Wesley Gould's for this juice. It's actually part of the, I'm not sure if you can pick it up at ejuicewholesalescanada.com or check out Wesley Gould's. That's what I was trying to get at. Or there's actually another lineup of stuff, but I'm gonna talk about that in another episode. I got a bunch of new juice here to be going over. Alright guys, so Jammin' Jams, peach and strawberry. First up is the regular Tsunami, sitting on the Vapor Shark DNA 200. Originally when I was putting everything together, I was thinking maybe I'm going to shove this onto the RXS, but no, I want to keep this as uniform as possible for everything, so I'll be using the Vapor Shark for both of these builds. Right now I'm sitting at 85 watts at 0.25 ohms. So let's check it out and see what this is going to do. Now I don't have the ability to really show you the full distance on it, but you're going to have to just judge by what I'm pushing out here right now as far as distance goes. As far as flavor goes, this thing is coming out at about a 3.75 on the Richter scale out of 5. 3.75 out of 5, let's keep it simple. And it's getting a very decent amount of vapor production coming out of it. Is it absolutely crazy? No, but it's good. I'm getting a nice few feet put out of this thing right now. Out of this regular Tsunami right here. So let's pop on the 24 and see how the flavor and how the vapor is actually going to work in between both of these. And let's see how that different juice well size is going to go as well. I'm going to use it a little bit more than I will use this one, just so I can pop that juice in the top and see how quickly it's going to soak up. One thing that drives me absolutely bonkers about the Tsunami 24 or the regular Tsunami is just how close the tolerances are between the O-rings and the top deck. It is always seems to be a little bit of a pain in the ass putting these things on for a bit until they break in. Other than that, let's see how she's going to go. I'm still at 85 watts, so both of these are the same. I'm at 0.24, so she's fairly close in the ohms. I'm not really finding much of a difference, if any, in the actual flavor changing of it. Let's re-drip this. A few drips up top, right into it. Didn't do anything special with it. A little bit of juice, so that was a little bit too much I put in there. Again, it's good things to know. And I'm not personally noticing from my angle any changes in the actual vapor production either. It seems like both of these are uniform across the board. The changing the inside of this diameter doesn't really seem to do much difference to the overall performance of this unit. Now, I was hoping that there was going to be a change. I was hoping that something would alter it from the inside of it, but it seems to be the same. It seems to be the exact same results regardless of the ID of this cap, which isn't a bad result in itself. No changes are still good results. we still know what it's like now to have the 24 versus the regular Tsunami. So I'll put 7 drips down the top of it. And 0 leaks out the side of it. So 7 drips with my regular Tsunami versus the Tsunami 24, and it's still rejuiced up. Both performing just as well as the other. Now, let's try the regular standard drip tip that comes with either of these Tsunamis. So the standard drip tip now is on, it's in place. It's no longer the chuff cap drip tip out of it. So let's see the difference in the flavor on this as opposed to the chuff cap. So I actually put, 12, 13 drops into that time. And still no leaks coming out of the side from the 12 drips. So if you just get enough in that dripper, you go, not overflowing it, gonna be good. Now for me personally, that drip tip gives us that added flavor for this build that is inside here right now. I find that the peach actually pops a bit more in my mouth than it does with the standard chuff cap. Again, just for this build. Different builds, different results, different chuff caps, different diameters. Everything is different. But personally, I enjoy the standard drip tip than I do the chuff cap. Chuff cap, you're going to get a little bit more flavor or vapor from it, but to each their own. There is definitely a difference in the overall vapor production from this, but I'm liking the flavor on this so much more than I am, so I personally would put up with that vapor production reduction. So let's try it on the regular Tsunami now. Back again with the regular Tsunami sitting on there, not the 24. So what this comes down to really is I'm not noticing much anything flavor from both of these coils. About the 3.75. The vapor production is about the same from either of these units, the 24, the regular Tsunami. So really it comes down to the aesthetic appeal for how it is going to fit onto your mod, and it doesn't have anything to do with how it's going to change anything else. At least that's how it's come down to myself here today. Go with either one of them, because at the end of the day, this Tsunami is absolutely amazing little unit. It's the coils in there that I only rated that as a 3.75, because if you put some different coils inside of this thing, it is one of the best flavored RDAs that I have personally been able to get at in my life. So you're going to go with what works for you, because that's what it comes down to. All that personalized stuff is what it comes down to you as a vapor, not what someone else says. Do what's comfortable for you. Make sure you're just doing it properly, do it safe, and have yourselves an excellent day, guys. So until next time, thank you very much. Like and subscribe for more stuff, and again, have an excellent day.